Hello. Hey, happy Saturday. Um, it's the end of February. It's the last Saturday in February. The very last Saturday of every month, I tend to go live. I usually go live and answer questions about working remotely, travel, workations, people that want to get in my business, whatever that is, whatever you guys want to do, I'm down. Hey y'all. And I used to do this on Instagram and I started doing it on YouTube. I'm pointing at it like y'all can see. So YouTube's here, Instagram's here. I started doing it on YouTube and then I was like, I'm leaving the people that helped build my platform out. So let me come back to Instagram. So back on Instagram. But Instagram friends, if you, hey, how you doing? Hey, I just realized who that was. What's up, girl? I miss you. If you guys want to join or subscribe to my YouTube channel, you guys are welcome to do that at any point. We're having trouble streaming to Facebook, to our Facebook group for some reason. So let me see if I can fix that right quick. In the meantime, my name's Libryia Jones. If you don't know me, what is up with this? How do you fix it? I don't know how to fix it. Give me a second. I don't know how to delete this. Anyway, hey, Rainbow Remote, what's up? Okay, so I don't have an agenda for these sessions. It's really just about answering questions that people have about working remotely, about travel. I'm trying to figure out how to share this in my simultaneously trying to troubleshoot and share this in my Facebook group because it's supposed to stream to my Facebook group and it's not doing that. Technology. But I love to share about working remotely and stuff like that. So if you guys have questions about that, please feel free to ask. That is what I'm here for. I am not I don't really have an agenda or anything specific that I want to talk about, but I can also, there's a couple things I do want to share with you all real quick. Feel free to drop questions in the comments. I'll be scanning the comments on both Instagram and YouTube. But there's a couple things I want to mention, and I wrote myself a little sticky before I forget. So we do free live events in our community every like 2 or 3 times a week. And this month we're focused on freelancing. And we had some really, really great sessions last week. We did one of my friends who built $1 million freelancing business and another friend who taught people how to get clients as freelancers. This week coming up, or next week, I should say, next week, we have a session on building chatbots for people as a freelancer, which I think is super compelling, y'all. The AI space is booming. If you want a work from anywhere remote job in 2024, and you want to be kind of on the cutting edge of industry and like growth industries, AI is one of them. And one of my good friends who is a sister is coming to teach you guys how to get into freelancing, building chatbots or building AIs. Chat GPTs basically for other people, which I feel like you could make some really good money doing that. Anyway, that session is, let me tell you when that session is so y'all can sign up for it. And here's where you, sorry, my mom was calling me. Here's where you go to sign up for it. Go to quitcommuting.com/events. If you go to our events page on quitscommuting.com, you can sign up for our events, register for our events for free. So this is Friday at 12 p.m. How to start freelancing with no reviews while there are many greatly reviewed people with minimum wage. It's a good point. Good question. So someone on Instagram just asked me, how can they start freelancing if they have no reviews and they're competing with a whole lot of people on these platforms that have a lot of great reviews and they're charging really low amounts? So here's what I tell you to do. And I did a couple of YouTube videos about how to get your profile seen and how to network. I want to separate these two things because people not charging a lot that has nothing to do with you, right? Because what I want to say about that is there are people who are looking for folks to pay $5, $8 an hour. That's not you, right? I can tell you that anytime I have done that, it's usually very easy work, like entry level work. And I know companies that are hiring people on platforms like Upwork, freelancer platforms, to do very skilled work, very specialized work, and they're paying top dollar for that. Just so you know. All right, so I think those are two separate things. It's really just about how you market yourself, how you price your services. So a couple things of how to get reviews if you don't have any. One thing that you could do is reach out to your community and your network and see if they need help with anything. Right. So for instance, I am actually thinking about I'm actually have a few friends that need help with setting up some systems and some automations. I'm very good at building out processes and setting automations. And I have a few friends who I want to help do that. Just in case I decide to make that a side hustle, what I plan to do is help those friends do that, but make them go through Upwork or a platform so that it can show that I've gotten some jobs on Upwork, and also so that they can leave me a review as well. So one of the things that you can do is get reviews from your friends, right? Get reviews from people that are already in your network and ask them to utilize the platform to provide those reviews. The other thing that you could do is build out your portfolio. And a lot of times when you go on those sites, when you go on Upwork, when you go on Fiverr, when you go on these sites, you can put examples of your work in there. Well, if you don't have reviews from that platform, you can create a one-pager of reviews from clients that you've had off the platform and put that in there as well. But I think a couple of ways to stand out is definitely to have testimonials. You can invite your friends to utilize the platform to get reviews. But also, I think it's really, really important to show your work and show your use cases and things like that to kind of stand out. One of the things that I gave as an example in my YouTube video about how to stand out and make your proposal stand out was when I went to go hire someone to do digital marketing for me. The person that stood out the most, because there's a whole lot of people that do ads, right? So many people do ads, help people with social media ads. One of the guys that stood out, he had a couple of videos breaking down his process, like he was teaching it to me. And I appreciate the lesson. I wasn't trying to do it myself, but that let me know that he had a level of expertise that was so good that he could teach it. And so I think things like, you know, trying to find ways to really stand out from everybody else is going to be beneficial. But if you need to get reviews, start with your own network and say, hey, can I do this small project for you? Or can I help you with something? And can you leave me a review on one of these platforms? I think that's one way. If anybody else has a suggestion, drop it in the comments, let me know. All right, YouTube, Instagram. I am here doing office hours, Q&A for remote work and travel and workations. And as some of you may know, I recently, I'm in Tallahassee, Florida, because I'm actually getting this place that you see me in ready to put on Airbnb. Hopefully it'll be done in the next week and it'll be on Airbnb by week after next. So I'm getting into real estate investing. That's my big goal this year. Second thing I wanted to tell you about or ask you, I have a question for y'all, actually. I have a question for you all. If we did a live tour of our workshops, so you guys know I teach people how to find and land remote work. I have a course called the Remote Ready Bundle. And what I have found is that a lot of people grab that bundle and sit on it and let it collect dust, which, I mean, if that's what you want to do with your money, you do that. If that's what you want to do with your money. But that's not why I put it out there. I put it out there because I want to be helpful. I want to see action. I want you guys to take action. I want you guys to get work that allows you to work from home with your family, or to travel, or to move abroad. That's what I want for you. And so I need you to do the work. So I'm thinking about doing a live tour and walking you guys in a live environment through the first 2 modules of the course. Whether you have the course or not, it would be beneficial. And so I'm really thinking about doing some live workshops in a few different cities. So let me know, what do y'all think about that? Would you guys come? Would you guys come to the live workshop? Would that be more beneficial than a virtual course? Are you guys virtual course out? Are you ready to hang out in person and do a live workshop? Let me know. And then let me know what cities I should come to. Obviously, Atlanta's on the list. Like, nobody has to say Atlanta because ATL ho. I am a Floridian turned ATLian Tallahassee girl turned ATL, so we start in Atlanta. Okay, we start in Atlanta. That is where we start. But I would love to know if that's something that people are interested in, if they want to do, and if so, what cities I should come to. Somebody said New York. New York's so expensive. Houston's on my list. I love Houston. I'm gonna say something real offensive to Houston people. I ain't gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, I would love to come to Houston. Houston's on my list. Houston, Atlanta. I'm thinking like Chicago. I have a huge community in Chicago. Toronto. Oh, you know, somebody else said Canada. A few people have said Canada. I should totally come to Canada. I really should. You know what I am. Let's just put it on the list. Just do it. I like Canada a lot. I like Toronto. I haven't been in forever. Would love to come. Would love to come. Awesome. I like New York. It's just New York's expensive. Like because keep in mind. So here's what we got to take into account. I have to pay for the venue, right? I got to pay for the venue to host it at. So if you guys have venue ideas that are economical, good value, let your girl know. And then I've got to actually pay for me to be there. So I got to fly there and I got to stay there for at least 2 or 3 nights. And my plan is to host this either on a full day Saturday or like a half day Saturday and Sunday. And then the Friday before, for all my peeps that already work remotely, the Friday before we host a co-working meetup. I'd love to do a co-working meetup, and maybe we do like a lunch and learn or a brown bag session on being productive or setting boundaries in a remote work environment, or whatever the people who already work remotely really need. Maybe we do like a session on that. We work remotely and then we have like a little session and we network. Libraries are economical. That's true. They are. I will look into that. I'll add that to the list. And a lot of times libraries are beautiful too. I like that idea. Thank you so much. Okay. So that's me asking questions. What about y'all? Y'all got questions? Don't forget about the people that are here from outside of the US, like the Caribbean. Hey, I'm down to come to the Caribbean. I will come hang with you guys in the Caribbean. Trust and believe. Think I won't when I will. I will come down to Jamaica. I will come to Turks and Caicos, St. Lucia, Puerto Rico, wherever you guys want me to come. Let's do it. When are you coming to Puerto Vallarta? Is it Puerto Vallarta? See, I learned Spanish in Medellin, so I want to say Vallarta. Puerto Vallarta. I don't know, March, maybe next month. I'm thinking about spending all of next month in Mexico. So maybe you do a session in North Jersey and the meetup in New York. Hey, Bing, how you doing? You see, I got my family shirt on. All the rattlers watching. What's up? I like that. Yeah, I know it's a Y sound. I know. I actually did not learn Spanish in Medellin. I learned Spanish in Tallahassee, or Tallahassee, if you will. I learned Spanish in Tallahassee in high school, but I practiced all of my Spanish in Medellin, Colombia, and their double L's is a soft J. Will it be different from your YouTube? I follow you on Instagram and I just realized you have a YouTube, so I don't know your content there. Oh yeah, let me tell you about what's on YouTube. Community colleges. That's a great idea. Somebody mentioned community colleges as an option. Listen, this Q&A turned out to be, for me, focus group session. This is a planning session with my community and I love it. Okay, so my content on YouTube is mainly being fleshed out. So I try to post like remote work stuff on here. So tips about career and working remotely on Wednesdays. And I am moving into posting more productivity stuff on YouTube. So YouTube is about to be my spot for productivity as well. So you're going to start to see more productivity videos, ideas to post something about productivity, planning, personal development on Sundays on YouTube. And I've been wanting to for years, for at least 4 years now, since 2018, 2019, I've been wanting to start this series called Work From, because I share a lot of content for people that want to work remotely, but what about my people who already do? And so I want to share videos about different places that you can work from remotely and things that you can do to maximize the fact that you work remotely and not have to use all your vacation days. So like if I went to Portugal for 2 weeks and I only took like 2 days off work because I can do that, right? I'm in the future in Portugal. I can get up and do stuff, hang out, and then work in the afternoon. Same thing in Egypt. I was there for 10 days. I only took 5 days off work. So that is the plan for YouTube. Instagram is kind of like whatever I want to do. Instagram is like my place. Y'all are my people. Is where I post, lifestyle, personal development, random stuff, travel, remote work. For a minute, it was just remote work stuff, but I just really miss having a holistic view of like myself and my interests on Instagram. So Instagram's been, Phoenix. Phoenix is a great idea. I think Phoenix is an awesome idea. I've never been to Phoenix and I've been wanting to visit the Grand Canyon for a long time. So it'd be really cool to head up there. I worked remotely from Jamaica for 8 weeks. No, I worked remotely from Jamaica. I was there for 8 weeks and worked for 6 weeks. Okay, so you worked for 8 weeks from Jamaica and took off 2 weeks. Is that right? I think that's the math. That's awesome. Jamaica's such a great place. I need to go back to Jamaica. I haven't been in a very long time. Geez, I haven't been in Jamaica in a long time. But anyway, yes, I want to do a live tour. It'll be either 1 full day or 2 half days, and we'll go through the first 2 modules. If you don't know what that means when I say the first 2 modules, my course walks you through 4 phases of finding and landing remote work. And module 1 is, where are the remote jobs, Liv? Like, you be talking about these remote jobs, but where they at? And a lot of people look for remote jobs on LinkedIn and Indeed, but I show you so many other places that existed way before LinkedIn and Indeed was even checking for remote jobs. I show you so many places to find remote jobs. And then the second module is we go through the art of applying for a job, because it is way more than hitting the apply button, right? And so we talk about all the things that you should do before you go and apply to prepare. We talk about your resumes, your LinkedIn. We talk about networking. We talk about a number of different things before you apply. And so in the workshop, what I want to do is I want it to be literally a workshop, like WERK, work. We're going to get to work. Like, I want you to walk out there with the outline for your resume and the outline for your LinkedIn built. If not fully built, I'd love to review some LinkedIns and some resumes in that workshop. Like, I want y'all to do work. Listen, every business owner wants your money. We all do. Absolutely want your money. But I don't want your money in exchange for you not using the thing that you bought. Like, what I want more than your money is I want your freedom. I want you to have your freedom. I want you to have the flexibility that you want, right? And so I think I'm going to do this workshop because we got to get you past buying the course and letting it just sit in your email inbox, because that's not doing you any good. I didn't create for that purpose, right? I did not create it for that purpose. That was not why I made that course. I made that course because I want more of you to be able to come hang out with me. Y'all, let me tell you something. I went to Cape Town. So speaking of workations and working remotely from different places, I went to Cape Town. I took my mother to Cape Town for Mother's Day. Love Cape Town. I go there a lot. I took my mother there for Mother's Day last year, and I did not take off work. I think I only took like 3 days off work or something like that. And end up, this woman saw that I was there on Instagram and hit me up. Turns out she took my course. She got a remote job and they let her work from anywhere. So she was just in Cape Town doing the same thing that I was doing. I want more of that. I want to be places and y'all be like, hey, I'm in such and such city. Let's meet up and co-work. I want more of that. I want more of my friends to be able to work from anywhere. Or if you just need to be home with your kids, or you need to be home with an aging parent or someone with special needs, or maybe you yourself have challenges or a disability or whatever, and you need to be able to be home to take care of yourself. I want that for you. Okay. So I think the workshop is, I'm going to try to do that so we can get you past buying the course and sitting on it. Do you have a specific advice for remote work for medical assistant analysis? Yeah, it's appropriate for a Q&A. It's a question. So definitely appropriate for a Q&A. If I tell you, you're right. I should tell you before I go live. Thank you for saying that and holding me accountable. Someone on Instagram said it would be really great if you would tell us before you go live. True. Accurate. Would you like to be my social media manager? No, you're right. I used to actually do like a little reminder thing and set it up, but I just haven't lately. And I really just started going live on Instagram again. Our newsletter tells people that I'm going live on YouTube every week on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, we send an email out and it tells people that we're going live. And in the community, they have an event calendar that says I'm going live as well. Anyway, to answer your question, medical statistical analysis. Oh, that's a mouthful. I don't know what medical statistical analysis is, but I will tell you that if you go to a website like remote.co, there is a category specifically for healthcare. Remote.co is a website, a job board specifically for remote work. It is for remote work, for remote jobs. And there is a section, a category there for healthcare. So if you go there and look that up, click on that, you might find some positions. The next thing that I would tell you to do is to Google that position, but don't just Google it. What I want you to do is put medical statistical analysis in quotations in Google. Put it in quotations because you're telling Google, I want these specific keywords. I want you to consider all of these keywords and in that order. And then so you say medical statistical analysis, and then put and in all caps, and then the word remote. That doesn't have to be in caps. The and has to be in caps. The reason the and has to be in caps is because you are telling Google that the things on both sides of this and are required. I want both of these things in my search results. And what you may find out, I might actually try to do this just to see. What you may find out is that that Google has a job board. Some of you may or may not know Google actually has a job board. And so if you put that in there, one of your search results, you might see like this blue bar that says jobs. Click on that, and that will have a list of jobs with that should meet your criteria. And what you can do is you can turn on alerts so that anytime a new job pops up that meets that criteria, you'll get an email from Google to let you know. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what I just said. I'm going to search for medical statistical, I'm going to say analyst instead of analysis. Medical statistical analyst and remote. Let me do this real fast. All right, that didn't give me the word jobs, so I'm going to type the word jobs in there too. What is medical statistical analyst? What does that person do? Analyze medical statistics? Is that like, what is the word? Actuarial science? Medical statistical. I'm just going to take the word medical out. It might be too specific. Yep, there it is. That popped up. So when I took the word medical out, the job board popped up. So what you may want to do is look for a statistical analyst and look for companies that are in the healthcare field hiring for that. I'm going to slow travel once my lease is up, keeping my remote job until my VA business takes off. That's awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, that's the life I'm on, slow travel. When I first started working remotely, it was so that I could be home with my daughter. My daughter was 4 and I needed to make extra money. I did the last time I purchased the course, but fear I didn't move forward. Why didn't you move forward, guys? Let me know. Research statistics. Oh, research statistics is way less specific. And you probably get more results if you search for research statistics. Okay. Or statistics analyst. Someone put some questions in here. No one on YouTube is asking questions, so I'm just answering Instagram questions. If you guys on YouTube have questions, drop them in the comments so that I can answer them for you. Should I add volunteer experience on my LinkedIn profile when I volunteer at tech conferences? I don't see why not. I guess my question to you would be, why not add it? Like, it don't hurt you for it to be on there. Going on 2 years at my job with no raise after being denied due to budget at a 2-year point. What to do? Someone said that they've been at their job for 2 years with no raise because of budgets. What should they do? I mean, that's really up to you, right? I think a lot of companies have not given raises over the last couple of years just because, times are hard. I put that in air quotes because that's not true for everybody. Somebody got a raise. But I think it's really up to you, right? Do you like your work? Do you like your job? Things like that. Is it I needed a raise because I feel like that's standard, or do you feel like um, your lifestyle is such that you absolutely need one? The other thing is, I mean, if you're not happy there, if you're not happy with the fact that you got a raise, like, are you searching for other opportunities to make more money? Right? Because if they're not giving raises due to budget cuts, it's not like you can argue for the raise. So, I mean, I think it's really just about, you need to decide if you want to look for something else and then do that, right? You need to decide if you want to look for something else or do something on the side. Like, that is a decision that you've got to make. I personally, I mean, I haven't gotten a raise in 2 years either. But my job comes with a bonus structure that doesn't make it that impactful, because I get quarterly bonuses as well. So for me, that's okay. Like, I would like a raise for sure, but I also get quarterly bonuses that aren't necessarily capped. They just really depend on how many clients and how much revenue I'm managing. So for me, not getting a raise is okay. But if it's not okay for you, then you've got to decide. So, like, I can't answer that question for you because there are variables in my situation that might be different in yours. Again, I haven't gotten a raise in 2 years, but I get quarterly bonuses that are technically uncapped for the most part. And so it's not that big a deal to me. Fear of failing or not having the right skills for remote work. I'm so not a techie. Girl, what you talking about? Did you just start following me? I'm not a techie either. I've been working remotely off and on since 2008. My first remote job was in customer service. For a long time, I worked remotely in customer service. That's not technical at all. And then fear of failing. I want you guys to do me a favor from here on out. I want folks on Instagram, folks on YouTube, do me this favor. Every time you use the word fail, I want you to replace it with the word learn. Okay? So I am Fatima Aisha. My question for you is, do you have a fear of learning? Are you afraid to learn? Because that's all failure is. Like, failing is not a character trait. It's not a indictment of who you are. It is information. It is, oh, well, that didn't work out. I guess I should do something else. Or maybe I need to keep trying. Or maybe I need to pivot. It is information. So my question back to you is, are you afraid to learn? I bet you aren't. I bet you aren't. So from here on out, every time we get ready to use the word fail or failure, we need to change that to learn. Like, if you say failure is not an option, is learning not an option? Like, you have to try things. You're going to fail at things. You've been failing at things your whole life. That is how you've been learning. That's how you got to where you are today, right? You've tried things, it didn't work. You tried something else, or you tried again. And that is how you got to where you are. So you shouldn't be scared of that. And then the other thing is, nothing bad happens to you if you go and apply for jobs and you quote unquote fail at it, right? Like, nothing bad will happen to you. Like, you just won't get the job, but you'll just keep moving on. Worst case scenario, you'll be doing exactly what you are today, right? So that's not that scary. Come on. And I guarantee you have skills. All of you do. Every last one of you watching this, even by nature of the fact that you are on this live, commenting is an indication that you have skills. People get paid to do what you're doing today. People literally get paid to do what you are doing right now, watching videos or commenting on videos and stuff. So you got skills. I promise you do. I think there's a video on my YouTube that says help. No, that's in the course. There's a video in the course that says help, I have no skills. And I'm talking to people just like you who say they're not a techie. There's a whole bonus section in the course, the Remote Ready Bundle, that talks about not having skills or moving into remote work when you've done very physical work. Okay. My YouTube friends are asking questions now. Long questions. I'm going through the bundle now, but I don't know what type of work I'm looking for. Would you suggest scheduling a one-on-one session with you or complete the bundle prior to scheduling an appointment? So I only do one-to-ones a few times a year, and I think I will be done doing them in 5 days. So up to you if you want to schedule a one-to-one. I don't think that's necessary for you to figure out what you need to do. Look at me not selling my one-to-ones. If you want to schedule a one-to-one, you absolutely can. But figuring out what you want to do is a matter of also figuring out, like, what do I enjoy about my job right now? What do I hate about my job right now? So that you know what to avoid. And then what are you good at, right? Um, it says she writes on water. So I assume that you are a writer. So, I mean, you could go into technical writing if you wanted to. And technical writing is not, I say technical writing and people get scared because they're like, I'm not a techie, right? Technical writing is literally writing instructions. I wish it was called instructional writing, but it could be, if you've ever had to give someone instructions, if you have children, if you've had to train anyone, if you've ever had to create a standard operating procedure or a training document or a how to do something, that's technical writing. So that's something that you could do. You could do copywriting and editing for people. Although I know a lot of copywriters are getting concerned because AI is becoming the go-to way that people do copy. But I think you've got to sit down with yourself and think about, what do I like about my current job? What don't I like? And what are some of the things that I'm naturally gifted at and good at that I wouldn't mind making money on? So I'd say start there. Another thing that I think is interesting to do is like a personality test or like a Clifton Strengths test. So 16 personalities is a cool little free test that will tell you your Enneagram and not your Enneagram type, your Myers-Briggs type. So when you see people say they're in ENFP or INTJ, there's a section in there that talks about the kind of work that is good for you. So like really getting to know yourself and where you excel. Clifton Strengths is a really good test too. If you're in the Quit Commuting Academy, we might do it again in April, but we did a whole session with a Clifton Strengths coach that takes you through the assessment and shows you how it teaches you where your strengths are. And then we did an hour-long assessment where she told me, like, she broke down my report for me, and we talked about, like, what does that mean for my career and what I'm good at. So getting to know yourself pretty well is another approach that I would take to that. I tried to transition into a tech for my remote journey. It wasn't fruitful, and now I'm back in the office, and it feels tougher finding something these days. So I'm trying to manage work and looking. I need more words to respond to that because I don't know what you mean, but I tried to transition into tech. Oh, did she? Yeah. I don't know what you mean by I tried to transition into tech. Did you try to transition into doing development work, or you try to transition from working for a non-tech company to working for a tech company, which I think every company is a tech company in these days and times, because technology is required to enable pretty much every business, right? Technology is such a huge part of most businesses these days in order to enable them to market and sell their services and products. Pretty much every company has a tech component at this point. So I don't know what you mean by that question. I don't know if you're saying I was trying to transition into being a developer, a tech person, or I was transitioning into a tech company. Back in the office, and it feels tougher trying to find something these days. True. I ain't gonna front. It is hard trying to get a job, remote or otherwise. Remote, especially because it's more competitive than it used to be. If you guys had found me in 2015, not a lot of people knew, but not a lot of people believed me when I said remote work was a thing back in 2015. I've been teaching people how to do this since 2015. It was a lot less competitive, but now there are more remote jobs than there were then. There are way more remote jobs than there were before the pandemic, but there's way more people vying for them. So I won't front. It is harder, but just keep pushing, keep working towards it if that's what you want to do. And I'd say you got to think about how you can stand out and play the long game on networking as well. Somebody said, I currently work remote in customer service, but I love my company, so I'm not really looking to leave. That's awesome. I love when people have jobs they love. I'd love to talk more about that. I did some lives with people who love their jobs. I paid for 2 tech boot camps, studied, paid for all the resume writing, LinkedIn. I'm still not a remote work. I'm concerned that I'm leaning towards giving up. I think there's nothing wrong with taking a break. The job market is crazy right now, and it's incredibly competitive. It is, we went through that period where it was like a job seekers market, right? It was a employees market for a minute. We're not there anymore, right? We're in a weird place where a lot of companies have hiring freezes. A lot of companies are cutting budgets. And so it is very competitive right now. And I think when you get, and this is part of the course as well. Like there's a section in the course that talks about what to do when you feel stuck. It is okay to take a break because it's not worth decreasing your mental health, because constant rejection, constantly being ghosted, it starts to wear on you. It really does. And you start questioning, am I good enough? What's wrong with me? And it's very demoralizing. It is so demoralizing. I will not pretend like it's not. Um, so I would say take a break. Put a date in the calendar that you'll come back to it, but take a break. Take a break and focus on like rethinking what's important to you, right? So sometimes we have our list of priorities, right? And I know for a lot of people, their top priority, the thing that they want the most is they want a remote job that's work from anywhere so they can move out of the country and travel and do whatever they want. A lot of money, not a lot of time, effort spent. Like we all want that, right? We all want to make a bunch of money to like work for, 15 hours a week. But you start to think about, well, what am I willing to adjust on for now? Right. As I work towards that point, because it doesn't have to either be I get this remote job that lets me work from anywhere in the world, or I go to an office. There's so much, you see how much space there is between my two hands? There's so many options in between that. And so maybe it's I work in a remote company that requires me to work in the US. I work in a remote company that requires me to be in my state. I work for a company that is hybrid, or I work on the side as a freelancer and build my freelance business. So maybe tweak the approach as well. There's other options too until you get to the point that you're trying to get to. Uh, what is the quickest way to find a remote job when you urgently need one? Girl, if I knew that, like everybody would, probably be paying 10,000. I will say there are some jobs that are easier to get than others. There are some jobs that are more competitive than others. But I don't have some get a job quick scheme for you, right? It's such a broad question. I don't know what your skills are. I don't know what your background is. I don't know what you do for a living. But there's a whole slew. I could talk for a week and a half about the number of things that you can do to make money online and remotely. You can go get a job. You can start selling digital products. You can become a freelancer. I have friends who are voiceover artists. They do that from home. They get paid to do voiceover. You could be an administrative assistant. You could create a YouTube channel. Like there's just so many things that you could do to make money and to get money. And so it's tough to answer that question because it's just so broad, right? There's so many things that you can do. But the important thing is to start. And I think if you're asking about like low stakes remote jobs, a lot of low stakes, easy entry remote jobs are things like customer service, data entry, virtual assistant work. I remember someone someone scheduled a one-to-one with me, and in her one-to-one she was like, Libryia, I just really don't want to work. I was hoping that you could tell me how I can make money and not work. I'm like, girl, if I knew that, would I be pimping myself out on these one-to-ones? I would not be here. I would be on somebody's beach drinking. It's just, I mean, there's so many things out there. There is not anything that you can do to make money and not work unless you are like Paris Hilton or somebody, right? You're going to have to put in some effort. And then if you urgently need work, I would say that you urgently get work. What is it? For me, I'll put this out there. If it's me and I urgently needed work, like from a place of, I cannot feed my children, I cannot feed myself, I need to go work. My thing has always been, worst case scenario, I'll go work at McDonald's, right? Like working remotely is ideal. It's what I want to do. But if I urgently need work, I'm just going to go get some work, right? So, and I don't know if it's that dire for you, or if you're just like, I'm just over it and I need to get out of the company that I'm in, the organization that I'm in. But it's such a broad question. There's just so many ways that you can make money online and remotely. I work for a remote call center and the job is draining. I can see that. I used to work for a call center remotely. I used to work for American Express from home. I was in their first class of customer service reps. And while it was a great company, American Express was a great company to work for, and I got paid really well, and they had great benefits. People don't call customer service because they want to talk about how great the company is. They call customer service because they have problems that they need fixed. And that can be very draining. And so one of the things that I can suggest is, and the talking, constant talking all day is draining too. So maybe look into doing chat support and email support, because a lot of companies are moving into the chat support realm. You could also consider being a freelancer and helping companies build their chat support and email support, right? So if you see small businesses out there, a lot of the small businesses that you admire, that business owner that you admire and you think they have a team, they're probably running that stuff on their own. And so if you go and learn a tool like Freshdesk, you can set up your own freelancing company creating customer service for them. So, and Freshdesk is free. Like, go learn the tool and then offer to manage chat and email support for small businesses. Do that because you have customer service experience, which is amazing. How do you think people should cover for a gap in their CV? As many, some people, so many free lessons on YouTube that I've used. Yep. Okay. I was only supposed to be here for 30 minutes. It's been 45, but I like talking to y'all. All right. Somebody asked, what's a remote job that's good for introverts, not in tech? Chat support is so much better. Okay. 2 more questions. I'm going to take 2 more questions, maybe 3. I'll take one on YouTube and the 2 that I just saw on Instagram. Somebody asked, how do you cover a gap in your resume? People are a lot more open to that these days, right? I think that is no longer some taboo subject. But I would say, 1, be honest. What were you doing? What were you up to? Like, maybe I took a year off to travel, right? I took off a year so I could travel. People are into that. That actually makes you intriguing. I'm gonna tell you something. My daughter told me that whenever she does interviews, she tells people that she got to travel the world for a year. And she's like, every time I tell people that, I know I'm gonna get the job because I just made myself so much more interesting. So, if you took the year off to travel, say that. If you took a year off because you had a kid, say that. Like, let's be honest. People want to hire humans. People want to hire people. So share what you've been up to. You can also share how you've stayed connected in the industry and some of the things that you have done while you were on your year abroad. On your gap, in that gap in your work history. If you had a family member get ill that you had to take care of, say that, right? But you can also mention that during that time, I kept up with the industry by doing XYZ, or I took XYZ course, or I volunteered doing yada, yada, yada. I think just address the gap straight on and talk about how what you might have done to stay relevant in the industry, stay up on industry trends, or keep your skills up to date. But don't run from it. Don't hide from it. It's part of your life and it's part of who you are. And then the other question was, what was the other question? Remote jobs that are good for introverts. My views on introverts and extroverts are not typical, are not what most people think they are. So it's tough for me to answer that question because people act like introverts hate people, and that's not what I think it is. I think introverts their energy levels are lowered faster from being around people than extroverts. And what is that? Why does that keep happening? Y'all see that on YouTube? And introverts value more one-on-one contact than like group contact. But I'd say jobs for introverts are things that don't require you to be in meetings a lot. So like design jobs, instructional design is a great one. This chat thing that we were talking about, chat customer service, like you don't actually have to talk to people, but you can, do this stuff. So I'd say anything that's in a support perspective, right? Anything that's more of a support job, like creating ads for people, writing copy for people, the behind the scenes type of work. A lot of developers are introverts as well. Not consulting, definitely not consulting, because you got to be on and you got to be around people a lot. But like data analysis, data science, learning to be a business analyst or a configuration specialist. And so what that means is when people buy software, they often need someone to set that software up. So that is what the company that I work for does. We do a lot of software implementations. So when a company purchases a large company, like let's say Starbucks might go and purchase something to manage their data, we would help them set that software up. So configuration specialist, which is also often called a BA, a QA specialist. And my friend Jennifer Gaddis, she's on Instagram as I am Jennifer Gaddis. She teaches people how to be QA specialists. That's a good one too for introverts. But consultants is more like an extrovert. I'm a consultant. That's definitely a very extroverted job right there. Yeah. Somebody said, I wish I had a gap. I would love a gap. Would you consider teaching abroad? Oh, she's talking to somebody else about teaching abroad. Yeah, teaching abroad is also a great option for people. I mean, it's not working remotely, but it can get you the hell out of the US if that's what you're trying to do. Okay, as a reminder, and this, you know what? Another introvert job, creating GPTs for people, chat GPTs for people. So Friday at 12, we are doing a free session to teach people how to be freelancers. Hold on, let me type this. Commuting. I got one more for the introverts. Commuting.com. Hold on. Events. If you go to quickcommuting.com/events, you can sign up for this. It's free. It's happening Friday. I keep picking this up like this helps you. It's really for me. Friday at 12 p.m., one of my friends is doing a free session on how to become a freelancer and create GPTs for people. You can make money doing that. And that is a good one for introverts as well. I think another one, especially introverts with a lot of knowledge, is creating digital products and digital courses. Because like you get to do a video and then you put it out there, or you create something and you know something? Look at me interrupting myself. There is a woman in my Airbnb Facebook group who makes over $1,000 a month. All she did was create a one-pager with Wi-Fi information and Airbnb rules for Airbnb hosts to print and put up in their houses. She makes like a couple thousand a month doing that. Like digital products. Digital products is an easy one. The class is Friday at 12 p.m. She will be teaching people how to be freelancers, making GPTs for people. I'm very excited about it because I think Quick Commuting needs a GPT. I think y'all should have one-to-ones with our GPT. I think so. So anyway, come to that. Again, it's totally free. It's Friday at 12 p.m. But go to quickcommuting.com/events to sign up for it. Okay, I gotta go. I got on my workout clothes. I'm about to get on my Peloton so I can close my ring today. It was so fun hanging out with you guys. I will see y'all in a month. But if you want to do this, every week, I do this every week with the Quick Commuting Academy. If you go to quickcommuting.com, you can join the Quick Commuting Academy. It's $29.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. And we get together every Saturday and do exactly this. We talk, hang out, I answer questions, give advice. Sometimes I do job searches for people on there. So join the Academy if you want to. How can you attend the event? Go to quickcommuting.com/events. Or if you just go to quickcommuting.com, you will see the events right there. All right. It was so much fun hanging out with y'all. And I will let you know about this live tour. I'm very excited. You know what, Dominique, I see you. I should add Tulsa to my live tour. Like, how can I not go to Tulsa? Tulsa's my other home. All right. I will see y'all in these internet streets. Thanks for coming by.